Today on KB&P, we review our Navion 24V motorhome. We've only had it for 2 months now, and we've learned a lot, and there's much more to learn. We've also had a lot of fun along the way, and we can't wait for our next adventure. We plan to share our adventures with you, camping, mountain biking, and stand-up paddling. So if you want to come along with us, consider hitting like and subscribe. And as always, we welcome your comments. Let us know how we're doing and give us suggestions on what kinds of things you'd like to see on this channel and how we can improve. If you're new to the channel, check out our introduction video, KB&P, Who Are We? Thanks for watching, and we hope you have a great adventure. Happy trails.
Okay, I know.
Hey, I'm Carl.
And I'm Brenda.
We're with KB&P, and today we're going to do a walkthrough of our Navion 24V. First, you'll notice the door is fairly solid. It's got a screen door on the inside, automatic stairs. This is a very easy to drive RV, very straightforward. The cockpit is fairly comfortable.
The features we like are the screen display, which you can put up a map or you can have the rear camera showing.
Brenda and I have hit our heads on this a couple of times as we walk back and forth between the cabin and the cab. And so this is one thing we're getting used to.
We do have these shutters that are easy to open and close here, which we really like. You can close all the windows. They slide back very easily and then just Velcro in place. There is a large dashboard with lots of cup holders, which, you know, comes in handy when you're traveling. Cup holder here, cup holder down here.
So this the scan gauge has been a nice feature to have here, and also this computerized leveling system. It's factory. The original owner actually drove to Iowa to have it installed, and highly recommend that because it really makes it nice for quick setup and breakdown.
Got a very roomy bunk up here. Right now, since we don't have any children or grandchildren that travel with us, we use it mainly for extra storage. And when you're on a long trip, that may be what you use it for also. Over here, we've got more storage area, which we usually fill with dry goods and things that don't fit in the drawers or in the pantry. So we also put blenders and stuff like that that won't fit into regular size drawers. And we really like that. This is the slide out here, and we have this comfortable seating area that also opens up into a bed, but you would have to be a rather short person to fit into this bed, or a child.
One of the reasons why we chose the Navion 24V and the View 24V would have the same floor plan is because of this small slide is not a slide that we have to deploy. We can leave it closed in when we're camping and so forth, so we don't necessarily have to use it, but it is nice to have a little extra room.
This is our thermostat, and this is where we can turn on the AC or the heat, and in Florida it's 85 today, so we're using the AC. I like this little lighted panel here that just gives you just enough dim lighting when you're in the campground and you don't want full-on top lights on. We have this neat little sunroof here that we can open up for extra lighting in the cabin. It also has a shade option if you want a shade, or you can completely close it if you don't want anything. Over here in the kitchen area, we have a TV. Behind the TV, we have more storage.
We actually have 2 TVs on here, and they're both HD TVs with an HD antenna.
Okay, over here we have the sinks, and we have a couple of covers that come with it. You can use them for cutting boards if you need to. We have 2 shallow sinks. It works out just fine, and if you need extra preparation space, they have that. Also, on a side note, I've found that these little drawer liners make great skid pads. Like, you can put them down, and I set my fruit bowls or pots or whatever I need on them when we're traveling, and they don't slide around. Over here we have glass top And underneath we have 2 propane burners. We mostly use our Instapot, so I haven't used this too much yet, but it seems like it works just fine. Up here we have a microwave that also is a convection oven. We've used the microwave, we haven't used the convection oven, so that's still to be determined whether I like it or not. We have a very roomy area for all your silverware, and then 2 deeper drawers for dishes and other supplies that you might need. Don't look at the mess. But we also have a table that you can move in and out. It comes apart and has a pole there that also comes out, and it is stored in the cabinet right here. When you're moving, you lock it in this belt system here, and that keeps it in place, and it doesn't take up much room, so you can still put a lot of clothing in there. Down below it we have a little pantry area for canned goods, and there again you see more of that shelf liner to keep stuff from moving around, and a couple of slide out drawers, which is very nice. It also has a refrigerator that is runs on propane or electric, depending on whether you're plugged in or not.
So basically you just set the refrigerator on automatic. If electric's available, it'll switch to electric. If electric's not available, it'll switch to propane.
And it's, you know, typical refrigerator area and small little freezer area. And like many other campers have said, we have used these little spring rods. These little spring rods come in handy because when you're moving, you can slide them into place, and it kind of holds things in place so that when you open the door, when you arrive at your destination, things just don't fall out and explode on you, which I'm sure many campers have had that happen.
So above the refrigerator is the one place where you can go to see your battery levels, tank levels, turn on your pump and your water heater. Your slide out switch is here, which you can only open the slide with the engine running and the emergency brake up. We also keep all of our Winnebago literature here. You can turn your gas valve off here if you like. You can also turn on your generator here. You can also turn your inverter on here as well.
Okay, behind you we have the very spacious, just kidding, it's spacious enough. But this is the bathroom area. It has a little shower handle with also a hanging rod. Has this little slide door, which also self-squeegees when you put it back in.
One thing that you'll need to remember when you take a shower is that although this drying rack is very convenient, it's not very convenient for when you take your shower. So you need to pop it out and stow it before you take your shower. Now, who wants to take a shower with me? Rub-a-dub-dub, do you want to take a shower with me? Oh yeah, there's so much room in here, but I doubt there's room for 3.
Porcelain toilet and plenty of storage area up above the toilet for his and hers storage area. Little sink, more storage down below. Back of the door in the bathroom, just to let you know, there are some more hanging options. It's got a very nice floor that's tiled rather than carpeted, which we prefer because we have a dog and we're very active, so we bring in a lot of dirt, which makes it easier to keep clean. Okay, moving into the bedroom. We have 2 twin beds, which they're extra long twin beds. And you can also convert it into a king bed. There's another piece that opens up here, slides out, and a cushion goes on it, and you can make it into a king bed. right at this moment, we prefer to have two twins because it allows us to get in and out of this area a lot easier, and also it allows for our dog to come in and bother us in the morning. Anyway, on a side note, I've also found that I tried the twin sheets, the extra long twin sheets. Did not really work for me because they were too hard to make and didn't quite fit right. So I found these really neat things online. They're Betties, and they zip on both sides, and it's like almost like a sleeping bag. You kind of put it over on the bottom. They're elasticized and it fits over your mattress, and they zip on both sides, and you get in kind of like a sleeping bag, and then when you need to make it, you just throw the top up and zip it and you're done.
So another handy feature is these beds have a strap in the back so you can ratchet up so you can have a nice lounging position without having to use your pillows so that you can watch the TV. Oh, so comfortable. Oh, you know what? It should be up a little bit more. Let's reach back here for the strap. There you go. Much better. Ha ha ha. Isn't that delightful? And it retracts the same way. Just go to the top and drop back down. Huh. What time is it? Good morning. Have I overslept? Oh no, we gotta go ride our bikes. Let's go.
Up here we have lots of storage all throughout, all around the bedroom cabin area.
So plenty of room for all your clothes and everything that you need.
Enough room. Us women, we know, not plenty of room, but it's enough. Anyway, up above the bed, that has a little nice storage area with plugs so that you can plug in your devices and charge them if you need to. Also has a couple of little lights, a spotlight there and a little light there on both sides. Lots of shades so you can get it nice and dark. Another TV. So it's very comfortable, actually. We enjoy it a lot.
And all the lights throughout the RV are LED, so they're energy efficient and don't put too much of a load on the system. All right, let's go look at the outside. There's also right here on the side of the sink and next to the door is the stereo system. Yeah, which also plays outside. There's outside speakers here.
That's also where you control the awning. And there's the awning.
So bringing the awning out. It's a little bit of a windy day, so we won't leave it out. There you go, and there's the awning. And retracts the same way. So let's walk around the outside and take a look. So the first cargo area is here. You can see it's quite roomy. So you can see there's plenty of storage area in here. Currently have our M&G braking system here, which we might remove and go with a different option. Over here we've got our generator, 3200 Cummins, which we operate at least a couple hours every month. It's been very good. In newer models, they've routed the exhaust to the back. More storage. We keep our water hoses and fittings there. And then just above that, we have the largest storage area, which actually has 2 points of entry. There, and in the back, it's the same storage area. And we keep all of our rugs and tables and our cook stove and things like that. Back here we have our water and electric hookup. On the side we have our electric, and over here we have our water system. And then over here we have for our wastewater, and we have our place where we dump. You notice this stuff's a little bit hard to get to with the slide out. Under here is more storage. That's where we keep our sewer line and our gloves and our oil and things like that. Recently replaced the tires and the Borg valves, the Borg pass-through valves. Here it's very important to get them in the right location. It's easy to get it wrong. Fortunately got a picture from Tire Supply, a really good picture showing exactly how to install these things, which is helpful for your tire installer to have. And now let's just walk around the front so you get an idea of the front. The RV, you can see it's a really nice looking unit. If you get a Navion or a View, they're essentially the same. It's just the color palette and the trim inside can be slightly different between the Navion and the View, but the floor plans stay the same more or less year to year with minor changes. So if you get a 24V like we have, ours is a 2015 that we bought used, but if you get a 2020 24V, it's going to be a very similar floor plan, and we're very happy with it, and more to come.
We hope to be out on the road soon and get to meet some of you all and actually be able to travel.
If you've got any questions or comments for us, please leave them in the comments and we'll be happy to respond. This is basically the Sprinter chassis and engine. It's a 3-liter turbo diesel. Right here, this is the cabin filter. Very easy to change, so something you should change yourself. Right here is your coolant for your radiator. Here's your DEF, or where your diesel exhaust fluid goes, and you definitely want to make sure you keep that thing filled up. You see what I did there? Your oil goes here, oil dipstick there, air filter right here. Very simple to change. So something you can do yourself quite easily. Also, what's really easy to do is your oil changes. And the oil filter is actually right here. It's very accessible. In fact, all you really need to do is remove this tube, which you can just pull out without any tools at all. This will require a special tool to remove the oil filter cartridge. I can't stress enough how important it is to get the gasket in the right place on your oil filter cartridge when you change your oil. It doesn't go up against the mating surface like you might think. There's actually a little groove there, so make sure you look into that before you button everything down. Otherwise, you're going to have an oil leak, or likely would have an oil leak. This is access to your positive on your batteries. As the battery's under your feet in the Sprinter chassis, this right here you can use for your jumper cable. This, and then going to the frame for your ground. Brake fluid here. You have your windshield wiper fluid here. Very simple, very clean layout, and I'm going to show you where the drain plug is next on the when you change your oil. How easy and accessible it is. It's basically right under here and right underneath, right at the front. Right here is your oil plug for draining the oil. Very simple, very easy to get to. And be sure to grab this here when you go to close the hood. Lift up, push it over, and then it comes down. Don't force it.
Until we see you next time, happy trails.